What up, podcasters? One half of the Goldmembers podcast. Herb Reed, a.k.a. Boston self-proclaimed mayor, a.k.a. the HBK.
And it's your boy Tyson, man, back with another one, man. Jody, if you know me, man. Magic, if you dap me. You already know what it is, man. Goldmembers podcast.
Word, man. Shout out to all of our supporters, man. This is season 3, episode 38.
Yes, sir.
Time for 'em, huh?
Yes, it is.
Tell them where to find us on social media, bro.
Definitely check us out on Goldmembers Podcast on Instagram, man. Make sure you check out that Facebook page. I know we said it was going down, but we back at it, man. They ain't never let us go on Facebook, man. We got them pages going over there. You can listen to us over there, and you can definitely subscribe to our podcast on there as well.
Definitely, man. And make sure y'all check us out on all the top digital streaming platforms. We dropping episodes every single Thursday. So make sure y'all catch up. If you're not up to speed, go back, binge watch all those past episodes. We live on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and Google Podcasts.
Yes, sir.
But yo, we got a special show today, huh, bro?
Specialist. It's our biggest show right here. I ain't gonna hold you.
This is definitely our biggest show. I can't even
our
front.
biggest show. I wouldn't lie.
But we got a special guest in the building, man. A legend, somebody that's definitely helped shape our culture. Big in the black community from LA to Boston. We got Freeway Rick Ross.
Yes, we do.
In the building. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad to have you here, man.
I'm glad to be here.
Definitely, man. We love having you here, man. I had a quick question, man. How did you like the city so far, man? Like, just
Man, I'm digging it. You know what I'm saying? This is not my first time being here. This is
I was gonna say that.
it's like my third time being here.
Okay.
So the last times I came, the last times I came it was kind of cold. So right now it's nice and warm. You know, I'm loving it. You know what I'm saying? The women looking fine.
Yes, sir.
They
I was in
here.
that club last night, La Fuma, I think was the name of it, man.
Okay.
They was up
Oh,
in
you was
that
outside. You was outside then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing was off the change.
I wish y'all would have told me. I would have brought him out. I would have brought him out for you, OG. I ain't gonna hold you. They would have been like, "Who's coming with you?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll bring
Well,
him."
we got to do it next time.
Oh, for sure.
Because I like the girls.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I got you. I ain't gonna hold you. I got
Yeah,
you. I got you. Next time you come out here, let me know.
Well, let's kind of start from the beginning, man, because we know who you are. Just because we've always been followers, like, of the culture, like going way back, like pre-internet, before there was even an internet. We've always been tapped into the culture. But tell the folks a little bit about yourself, just where you from, and a little bit about who you are and why your story is as big as it is.
Well, I'm from L.A. Technically, I was born in Texas, but my mom moved to L.A. when I was like 3 years old. Been there ever since, up to the 20 years I did in prison. And the months, you know, I've been moving around the country. But for the most part, I was raised in L.A. You know, start off like anybody else, any normal kid, you know, wanting to be a law-abiding citizen, but never learned how to read and write. When I was 13, I learned how to play tennis. Started playing tennis. Thought that was going to be my way out the ghetto. But by me not being able to read and write, when it was time to get a scholarship, I couldn't get a scholarship because of my academics. So I found myself in what I call no man's land, basically not knowing where I'm going with myself, what I'm going to do. One of my homies called me and introduced me to cocaine. Well, before that, I started stealing cars, though. You know, I was stealing cars.
Okay, yeah.
I had my own chop shop. Got raided by the police, and that's when I turned to drugs.
And then, you know, you've not only just turned to drugs, but you became one of the biggest, dare I say, distributors or dealers probably that we've ever seen.
Yeah, well, you know, they say that. You know, people say I'm in the top 10, you know, whatever. I don't really know, you know what. We didn't keep stacks. I did good in the business. I started with $125. Before I got arrested, I had days I made as much as $3 million in one day. And I had many days like that, not just one, but quite a few. So I was significant in the game. You know what I'm saying? Got myself a life sentence without the possibility of parole. While I was in prison, I taught myself how to read and write. After I knew that I was going to be getting out of prison, I was thinking to myself, you know, I never had a job. To this day, I've never had a job. I never filled out a job application, you know, where I had to punch a clock. You know, it never happened. So I was in prison, and I was thinking that was my case, and I was wondering what was I going to do when I got home from prison. You know, so I started to study. You know, I consumed myself with educating myself.
So what amazes me, right, is that you said that, you know, you couldn't really read or write until you.
No, I couldn't read or write. Not
to the best of your abilities.
No, I couldn't read at all.
So what happened with school? Like, did you like go to school as a younger kid and they try to teach you those things, or that
I figured a way how to maneuver around school, you know, where I could get through.
Okay.
And believe it or not, you know, people might say, "Damn, that's fucked up," but that's really a gift.
Yeah.
You know, to learn how to maneuver through school without being able to function.
Yeah.
In school. It was a skill that I picked up that I still use today. When there's things that I don't understand, I figure out how to get by it or how to get around it. You know, when a lot of people, they'll get stuck. Mm-hmm. So really, as a kid, I didn't really understand the power of learning how to get through a situation. You know, because school was a situation that I had to get through. Yeah. I had to be eligible to play on the tennis team every year. Mm-hmm. I managed to do that. Driver's ed, I managed to pass driver's ed, so I get my driver's license at 16.
Mm-hmm, me too.
So basically, anything that I wanted, I had figured out how to get it.
Yeah.
So that's a gift.
It's definitely a gift. I always also say is another gift is being able to maneuver through the hood without being able to get in trouble.
Absolutely.
That's another gift I always thought was, you know, out there, and I thought was like a dope thing. You know what I mean? And I actually seen an interview. Like way back, right? And it talked about you making like a lot of money, like in a day, like 150 to 200K a day or something. Like
well, he just said he made $3 million in a day one time.
Yeah, profit.
Now on a $3 million day, I might make 600,000.
Yeah,
profit.
Mm-hmm. And just kind of put that into perspective, because this is in what, maybe the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, this is like 84.
This is 84. So put that into perspective. 600,000 in the 80s. I mean, where a loaf of bread might have been.
We know Magic Johnson. I remember when Magic Johnson signed his $1 million a year contract.
You probably laughed at that.
I was like, wow.
That's it. You know what's so crazy? You heard me say in the beginning, man, Magic if you dab me, man. That's my name's Magic. Like my nickname's Magic. Like
he had game like Magic back in the day.
Court, though. You know what I mean? I used to poop and all of that.
You sick with it?
Yeah, I'm nice with it. I'm no looking. I'm three balling. You know all of that. A little different. Today's game, but you know. So
given that, you know, because you know we try to tap into folks who have untold stories. You know, one of the things that we want to do with our podcast is document Black Boston, right? Because we got a lot of rich history here in the city. And now we're starting to see that like mainstream media and a lot of these big networks are starting to capitalize on stories. So we got like the BMF story that just recently came out. Your story is one of those stories that they're telling in that show Snowfall. Which a lot of people know about.
I don't really agree with Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the way that they tell our stories, they're not telling the true stories. You know, they're not really showing real Black culture. You know, I mean, they taking Black culture, but then they take pieces and bits of it, and then they doctor it up the way they. I mean, you know, I got a podcast where I analyze Snowfall every week. You know, every show come on.
What's the name of your podcast?
After the Snow. Me and Dave Mays.
Okay.
The guy who started the Source.
Okay.
He went to school here.
Yep. Him and Benzino. Him and Benzino are friends.
Benzino's from down the street.
So, me and him got a podcast together, and we go on there and we analyze the show. And one of the things that I'm seeing is how they not only embellish, but they lie in the shows.
Okay.
To make our characters it's really assassination of character. You know, they never show us as brilliant. You know, they don't want us to be smart.
Yeah.
You know, they want us to be ruthless, you know, dangerous, emotional, you know, and I try to be anything but those. You know, I don't want to be emotional, you know, where I'm making decisions out of haste or ration. You know, I like to sit back and analyze my situation and then calculate what the good and the bad from making that decision is going to be.
Yeah.
And in these shows, I'm seeing these guys are making harsh decisions, you know, rapidly. You know, I never watched the Big Meat show, and I don't know how close it is to Meach's life.
Yeah.
But I can imagine not accurate. You know, so much killing. I mean, in Snowfall, almost every day somebody get killed. You know, and in L.A. one of the things that you don't want to do as a drug dealer, you don't want to bring homicide
to your block. Absolutely.
You don't want that heat.
When they come, that stops the money. You know,
That's always said that.
even if you didn't have nothing to do with the murder, just the time that they're gonna block the block off, you know, they're gonna tape off the whole block for a whole day, maybe. Sometimes 2 days, it's according to what the situation is. So when you see all of these murders jumping off, and it's almost like hip hop. You know, it's like they've taken hip hop and now they put it on TV. You know, with guys, you know, like the rapper who stole my name, going on talking about how much dope they sold, how many people they shot, how many goons they run around with, and then in actuality, these guys were correctional officers, police officers, college graduates, you know, straight A students in school.
Yeah.
But they want to play them down. They want them to dumb themselves down so that they'll seem more appealing to society.
I also saw. I wonder. I'm pretty sure you know about it, but there's a movie out there, I believe, that's also based on your story. I think it's called like 100 Kilos or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you in favor of that movie? Because that movie came out a while ago.
Yeah, it came out around 99. My partner did that. The guy,
Okay.
When I started in the dope game, I had $125. Ali had $125. We combined. We went in partners. He did that movie.
Okay.
So I signed off on it.
Okay.
You know, I gave him my blessings to do that movie. So
Yeah.
I also talked to Glenn Plummer about playing the role.
Yeah, who's the father from South Central?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
he played your character.
OG Bobby Johnson.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I helped while I was in prison with a life sentence. I helped them put that together. So yeah, that movie's pretty accurate.
Okay.
So I only watched it one time, you know, so I never really went into it and broke it down. But you know, Ali was pretty familiar with what was happening, and yeah.
Okay.
So I had a little question.
And that movie's done numbers too.
Oh
No,
yeah,
it definitely
it's a dope movie.
Even though it's low budget.
But it's a
almost
dope
no
movie.
budget, and that's I really didn't want him to do it, but it's like, how you gonna tell your boy
Yeah.
he can't get his break? You know, he figured
Right.
that was gonna be his break.
Right.
You know, I would have felt like I was a hater if I would have said, nah, man, you can't do it.
I feel that.
After he told me, man, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work this thing out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still out there because I seen that. That was probably earlier this year. It might have been on Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime or something. I think I rented it off of Amazon Prime actually. But dope film though. But go ahead, bro.
No, because I heard you say a little while ago how, you know, they don't really highlight, you know, the positives that you know done in that show and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
they're
that.
not going.
They don't. They don't. But like, so coming from where I'm from, like in the city, like I even said this to him earlier. I don't see like you've done anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you like there's somebody in some neighborhoods like they look up to you. There's some people. So my favorite interview is I think you had an interview on No Jumper with the kid T-Rail.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and like just the sharpness of your memory of you like remembering him and his family and stuff like that back in those times and how influential you was to him. And I'm just thinking to myself like. Back in the day, I couldn't go to a basketball tournament. I couldn't travel out of town. I couldn't go to college. I couldn't pay for my books unless somebody from the hood was kicking me that money to do it. So when I was just thinking about the effects of you being gone. You know what I mean? Like when you did that time, like how was that? Like how do you think that was?
Oh
for
man,
the
it tore the
people
hood
around
up.
you?
It tore the hood up. But you made a good point, and that's why a lot of the rappers rap about dope and dope dealing because it was dudes in the street that paid for their studios, bought their drum machines, gave them money for their headphones, paid for the marketing, bought their clothes, when they got ready to perform. So quite naturally, they look up to these guys, and even if they didn't sell dope, they wish they would have.
Yeah.
They wish they was the man. So it's just a thing that we as black people got to go through, but we still got to recover because there's so much negativity going on right now. Almost every week a rapper gets killed.
Yeah.
Right about that.
It's crazy how that's happening. But yeah, I try to remember as much as I can.
Cause I always thought about how you said you didn't really like mess with the drugs, like you didn't do any.
No, I didn't do drugs.
That's what I'm saying, and it just, I'm thinking about myself 20, 30 years from now, you know what I mean, and how sharp your mind is. When I look at your interviews, I'm like, he's sharp, he's on the shit still, like he ain't, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's because you didn't dabble in those things.
Yeah, and I don't want to be dumb.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's first and foremost.
I don't want to be dumb. Some people don't care if they dumb.
No, they don't.
Yeah. They don't care if they perceived as dumb. I don't want to be dumb. I want to be perceived as smart. Yeah. I want to go down in history as one of the smartest dudes that ever lived.
And to me, you are. You managerial, like you entrepreneurship, like and I heard about you. You said something about the houses costing $50K back in the day, but I'm thinking like if you was able to read and write back then, you would have been buying them houses for $50K.
Oh, no question. I bought a few. Where I messed up really in my real estate game is that I never started to work with the banks.
Oh yeah, okay.
Even though I had the opportunity because I had several houses that was rented out Section 8, and my mom would go by and get the rents, money. And she would just take all my Section 8 checks and put it in the bank because I didn't need the money.
Okay.
So the bankers want to know, like, where you getting all these Section 8 checks from? Tell your son to come in here and talk to me.
Yeah.
And what I didn't understand the power of leveraging other people's money.
OPM.
Now I understood it in the dope game.
Yeah.
In the dope game, I leveraged like crazy.
Yeah.
All my friends who I brought up, I loaned them dope to bring them up. They didn't have to go out and earn a kilo of cocaine. I had to earn my first kilo of cocaine. I had to stack from $125 up until I was spending $48,000 for a kilo. So you're doing a lot of stacking.
Oh yeah,
that's a whole lot of stacking.
You flipping your ass off. I spoke at the thing the other day, and I was telling them about how so many people steal from themselves. When they sack start to grow a little bit, they figure out all the things that they can do with the money that is really their re-up money.
Right.
And if you don't have re-up money, then you can't re-up.
Ever.
Right.
So you out the game. So a lot of times people do that to themselves. They put themselves out of the game. And not just in the dope game. I just use the dope game as an example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How people would put themselves out of the game. But me, I don't want to be out of the game. I want to be inside the game. I want to stay in the game. I want to run the game. And the only way you can do that is by staying focused on what you're doing, and don't be going in the pot, buying new tennis shoes,
tricking off on your girl.
Car. Like, it's a story that I tell about two of my partners. And it's in my book. So if they get a chance, they should pick up my book. I sold out already down here.
Love it.
Yes.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love that. Gotta make
Shout out to the city.
Went down to the Essence Awards this year, sold out.
Okay.
A day and a half I was out, so the last days I didn't even participate. I got on the plane and went on home because my job was done.
Yeah.
But two of my friends who, when I first got in the game, I brought them into the game, right? And they already had money.
Yeah.
Right? So really, I should have been their worker. But what wound up happening is when they got in the game with me, they started rolling, they started making some money, and they went and bought brand new cars. And I went and bought a pound of cocaine. And I learned a valuable lesson from this. When I went and bought the pound, they kept buying ounces. So I got to where I could sell an ounce to each one of them and make $200 profit every time they bought an ounce. So now they buying an ounce every day. Both of them, I'm making $400 profit every single day off of them. But this is money that I don't really need because I'm still on the block hustling. So I'm stacking all that money.
Yeah.
Next thing, they started buying 4 ounces every single day. I'm still making $200 off of every one of the ounces. So now my money is starting to go like this here. Now it's getting to the point to where I'm making so much money off of them, all the money that I make, I can stack it. And it got so big that when these dudes would come and see me, sometimes I make $20,000, $30,000.
I say you could re-up off of them.
I could do whatever. They bought me houses, businesses, just because they wanted brand new cars in the beginning of the game.
Damn.
And they ain't wait. They wasn't patient.
They became millionaires though.
Oh, for sure, but they wasn't patient enough to.
But I still made when they spent $1 million, I made money. I made good money off of them.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a trivial question. What's probably the most outlandish thing you bought when you was at the height of your game? What's something that you probably didn't buy it? Maybe you took 100 people on a vacation. What's one of the most outlandish things you did with your money back then?
It was a Memorial Day weekend, and everybody was having boats. Everybody had the little speed boats, and my boy Ali's birthday was gonna be in a couple days, so I went to buy me a speedboat to go out on the lake with everybody, just to be part of the crew. And then when I got there was this big 40-foot speedboat, like Miami Vice speedboat, and it was my boy's birthday, and I never bought him nothing for his birthday. We've been selling dope 5-6 years, and I never bought him. I ain't never bought him a pair of pants, a pair of shoes, nothing.
Yeah.
And I saw this boat, and I was like, man, I bet he'll love that boat. And I bought the boat for him.
Bought the boat. Right there.
Right there on the spot. Yeah, I gave him. They said with some dope dealer had went to jail, and they hadn't finished the boat, so the boat was just sitting there. And I was like, man, I'll buy it from you. I think I paid like $140,000 for it.
So you see how you just say that? Like $140,000 for it.
Yeah, but this is back during the time that I'm making $200,000 every day.
But you know what $100,000 to do for me right now? I'll take $100,000 and take it to the moon.
But you can get $100,000 right now
From the bank?
Yeah. That's
I know
the best
when they
place
ready,
to get it.
it is.
It's better to get it from the bank than
like
a
the
dope
profit.
dealer.
You right.
Because you get it from the bank, you don't pay them back. They ain't going to kill you.
Right.
10,000%.
Right.
They ain't going to come looking for you. They're going to send you a text or email and say, you ain't made your payment.
Or they gonna take your ass to court.
They ain't going to take you to court.
For the check.
Yeah.
They're going to take you to court if it's secured.
Yeah.
If you secure it on your house or something like that. But I went in the bank, they gave me $180 unsecured. My signature was my security.
Nah, I know what you mean, because they'll let you take one out for sure.
You know what?
And I like that you're saying that.
Yeah. Yo, you're saying
That's what we talk
a
about
lot
every
of
week.
things. I want you to know there's a lot of people from the city of Boston that's going to see this interview. And first of all, I just want to commend you because given your background, your history, your past, and looking at where you are right now, you kind of spoke on it a little bit, just not wanting to be dumb, teaching yourself to read, making the adjustment. I'm thinking about a lot of my family members. Back in 2014, my neighborhood got a federal indictment, 52-man federal indictment. About half of my family was caught up in that indictment. I got cousins that are still doing time from that federal indictment. And one of the things that I'm always talking, so I just talked to my cousin. He spent the last 2 years in the hole. And I was talking to him, and I was asking him, just about what his plan is. You know what I mean? What kind of adjustments does he see himself making? What kind of industries, what kind of job may he want to get once he's getting out? And a lot of dudes have a hard time making that adjustment, educating themselves, finding out what their next move is going to be. What's some of the steps that you made, or even the fact that you're now in business? Do you have mentors, advisors? Like, what are some of the things you've been doing to educate yourself so that you can make that proper adjustment?
Well, I educated myself while I was in jail. I didn't wait till I got out. I didn't wait till my life sentence was overturned. I felt that I was going to get out, and I started preparing myself as if I was going to get out. I knew that I never had a job. I knew I'd never fill out a job application. So the odds of me getting a job working was slim to none. And I wasn't used to no bosses. Nobody telling me, oh, go over here, do this, pick this up. I don't need nobody to do that for me.
Yeah.
I do it on my own. I'm self-motivated. So what I did is I just started studying. I read over 300 books while I was in prison.
Wow.
That's how I know that you can go to the bank and borrow money. Mm-hmm. I read books on credit. I read books on marketing. And then I had mentors. I had people like Wendy Day. In my opinion, it probably helped more people get in hip-hop than anybody in the industry. Me and her emailed and text almost daily. She sent me books. I had other Fabian, who used to be the president of Loud Records. He's the guy that when I found the Alcoholics, I took the Alcoholics to him. He also was the head of promotion at Interscope. I had Adrian Miller, who was the president of Mortal Records. I had Paul Stewart, who was the president of Def Jam West. All these guys were my mentors at the same time. I was their mentors as well. We did a trade-off on educating each other. They was educating me on the music industry, on how to promote music, and I was mentoring them on how to become business people. Gino Taylor, the guy who probably one of the biggest black movie distributors in the game, who I'm doing my movie with right now.
Okay.
He was one of my mentors, and I mentored him. The Hughes brothers, Montel Williams. There was just so many people that I had contact with from the jailhouse that helped me make the transition. But the most thing that I credit my success to is reading over 300 books. And, whenever I do my interviews, I always tell them about my favorite 3 books. Who wouldn't want to know the favorite 3 books?
Of course.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
I read that one.
Richest Man in Babylon by George Classy, and As a Man Think by James Allen. Those were my favorite 3. I recommend that all y'all read those books if you want to be successful. If you're an entrepreneur and you haven't read those books, you slipping.
That's a jewel for y'all right there. I'm gonna go ahead and give you an applause for that one.
Those are definitely some good books.
For sure. So tell the people about what you're doing now, man. You got a couple different businesses. You out here in Boston doing your thing. What's some of the things you're doing now?
I don't know which one I'm the most excited about. The weed business. I'm about to be the king of weed.
Oh, what's so crazy? So you just mentioned. Did you mention Montel Williams? Or
Montel Williams, yeah. I just ran into Montel Williams.
He just ran into Montel Williams
at
the dispensary down the street.
Yep.
Promoting
pushing
weed.
his product.
Well, Montel came and interviewed me when I was in jail.
Okay.
Did he?
And my interview, he said, was his biggest show ever. It was when he did his last shows.
Yeah.
And he did a thing on the best shows that he ever did. Mine was number 1.
Wow.
Also, my American Gangster was #1 on BET.
Okay. Sure was. I watched that. You know that? I watched that. You know what's so crazy? Like, I literally watched it and didn't think nothing of it.
And my other documentary, Freeway Cracking the System, that I wrote while I was in prison, was #1 on Netflix for a year and a half. It was on the front page of Netflix. So educating myself from prison really allowed me to step my game up. So, I'm really excited about the cannabis industry, but I'm also excited about boxing.
Okay.
My first fighter that I work with will be fighting this Saturday on the
Who's
Zone.
your fighter?
Kid Austin.
Okay.
Floyd Schofield. And I also work with Anthony Peterson.
Okay.
From DC.
Okay.
I got the champ from Sean Champ from Toledo, Ohio. No, Dayton, Ohio. I got about 7 guys signed all together that I'm working with, maybe 9. So, so many I forget sometimes, but
I'm big into boxing. I love boxing.
I can see myself being #1 in boxing as far as advising, managing, promoting the whole ball of wax. I can see that coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. Tell us about the book that you recently sold out of.
My book. I wrote my book when I was in prison, and I wrote the book for young dudes like y'all. Who
Is that the autobiography?
The autobiography, who I may never get to see. When I was in prison, I ain't gonna tell you that I always knew I was gonna get my life sentence overturned, because I didn't. In the feds, it's they got a 99% conviction rate, and you got that 1% that you're gonna win your case on appeal. I got lucky, won my case on appeal, but at one time I didn't know. So I wrote this book that I felt that the young brothers needed to know about, so that they could prepare themselves for what they was going to be experiencing, especially if they got into the dope game. A lot of people, think that my book is just about selling dope, but it's more than just selling dope. It's an experience of life. How life will. If you don't know what you're doing, it'll chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah.
So I felt that this book was going to be important, that a young man could open up the book and he could go to the back and he would know how his life is going to turn out.
Wow.
So I seen the book, The 21 Keys to Success.
Yeah, that's another book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What was that about? Because, I seen a little bit, but I wasn't sure. That's why I asked you before.
Well, the 21 Keys wasn't planned. Me and this brother named Coley Crutcher, who started writing me while I was in prison, and he had a magazine called Get Money, and he wanted to put me on the cover of the magazine. So when I got out of prison, he invited me to New York. We did the interview, went around New York, did a few things, and I stayed in New York for about 4 or 5 days, doing the interview, photo shoots and all the stuff that, matter of fact, one of my most famous pictures is a picture that his photographer took that day. The one with the gray suit on that everybody put on. That picture been on so many flyers, so many news articles. Crazy how many times they use that picture. So me and him started to bond, like a big brother, little brother. So when I got ready to leave, he's like, man, I don't want you to leave. I wish you could stay a little while longer. I was like, man, my PO only gave me 4 days. I got to get on the plane. So he's like, man, what if I come to Cali? Can I hang out with you? And I was like, yeah, you can hang out with me. Come on. At that time, I really didn't have no friends.
Okay.
I was really...
You think people were scared of you to hang with you or something?
Nah, they just, why would you hang with somebody who ain't got, it's like, would you be running around with empty cans of beer?
Right.
I mean, that's different person. I hang out with my friends that ain't got shit going on. Maybe because I'm from the projects, but I hang out with my friends that ain't got shit going on.
Well, most people, when the bottle is empty, they throw it away.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't have no substance in it no more.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or take it to the recycler and recycle it.
Okay.
But they're not gonna be running around with no empty cans and no empty bottles.
Right. If they can't benefit, if you don't have nothing that they could benefit from, then why they gonna hang around you? Basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Empty bottle.
Yeah.
So at that time, that's kind of how people was looking at me, like I was empty. I wasn't selling dope no more. I wasn't making millions of dollars every day. I wasn't able to go to the fancy restaurants and buy everybody lobster and buy the whole bar. I wasn't doing that. I couldn't do that no more. So nobody really wanted to be bothered with me. So when Cody asked me could he come hang out, I didn't care. Cause I didn't mind hanging out with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Have somebody to talk to. So we started hanging. I'm taking him, letting him go to all the meetings with me, everything. And one day we was leaving a meeting, and I looked over. He was jotting on a piece of paper. And I was like, man, what you writing on that paper? He said, man, I've been taking notes on everything we do. I said, what? All of these meetings and stuff that we've been doing, you've been taking notes? I said, man, that's a book. And that's how the book was born.
That ain't scare you, though? Like, you taking notes on me and I don't even know?
Yeah, but I didn't care because I wasn't doing nothing wrong.
Wrong, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I'd been selling dope, I'd been like, boy, tell that mother. Set that mother
wow.
But, it was just me meeting with the head of Sony Pictures, the head of Universal, business people that I was trying to do deals with, people that I thought was going to help me inside of the industry. And he was just taking notes on it. So I thought it was fascinating that he did that. And I knew it was going to be a great book. That book
to turn that into 21 Keys of Success is crazy.
Yeah.
Just from sitting around you and, what I mean?
He had read the books when the books that I just told y'all about when I was in prison, because I tell everybody they should read the books. If I got any kind of...
he read all 3
of the books.
Okay.
So he was analyzing me working the principles out of the book. He was seeing me work the principles.
Yeah.
So he knew the principles, so... because he's an engineer too, so he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
So he saw me working the principles, so he wanted to document the principles being worked. And that's what he did, and that's how the book came about. The book is a great book. I can't keep it, we can't keep it. It's going to probably do more numbers than my autobiography. It'll probably catch up, but my autobiography going to do tens of millions of books once the world catch on.
Yeah.
When I first started selling it, it was like, I used to tell my guys, like, only street dudes buying it right now. They're just showing homage to me, I had street dudes give me $100 for a book.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, man, he ain't going to read the book. He just
now he just wants to show some love and support.
Show some love to the OG, for what I did for the culture.
Yeah.
But what I did, I was like, when women start to buy it,
that's who's going to read it.
That's when they're going to read it. And they're going to tell their friends.
How about saying going to read it and apply it?
That thing going to go through the roof. So women just now starting to buy it, probably like the last 2 or 3 months. Went down to the Essence Festival, man. The women, they ate it up. Next year when I go to the Essence Festival, I probably had to take like 2,000 books.
Wow.
Because they bought them up like that. I got the books too.
That many. I know you got them.
I got that many stacked at the house,
And you just spoke about literally having another one on the way. So how's that going? Like, how's the process in making that one? Actually, before you go there, what was the process in writing those first 2? Like, the first book, your autobiography, like, how did you even get into that? Like, did you have, like, a writer, or did you start, like, writing that in jail yourself?
What I should do in jail, because I was still, shaky on writing. So I had a store. I like when dudes would go to the store and they eat all their food up. Well, they would come to me buy Doritos, cookies, coffee, sugar, sodas, all the stuff that they buy. I bought mine, but I didn't eat that stuff.
Yeah.
So I would just stack it up in there, and then the middle of the week, because you're going to go to the store one time a week. So when it wasn't, or some days it don't go to the store for 2 weeks. I really made a killing on the 2 weeks when you don't go to the store. So what I would do is I would get dudes bags of coffee, and they would come and sit in my room, and they would just jot down what I said on paper. And that became my notes for my book.
Okay, cause I was thinking of that, because that's a whole different process of writing a book compared to the one you're about to come in right now.
Oh,
like, you're outside now, you got to see more, you've been outside for a minute.
I got a brand new
perspective.
MacBook.
Oh yeah.
See, yeah.
I don't know how to turn it on yet, though. I got to learn how to turn that thing on. Man.
I can't wait
put
till
my
you
finger
get.
on that, and they put the finger
Oh
on
yeah,
there. I try to type it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
mine, where mine
Yeah, like
go?
my joint.
I
Yeah,
know my joint
yeah,
quick.
yo, got the fingerprint and all of that.
Yeah, but I be putting my finger on there, it won't come on. I type the name in, it won't come on.
I tap that button, lock it
Yeah,
up,
we
and
gonna
bring it
we
back
gonna
out.
we gonna have to hold you
Yeah,
down,
We gotta hook
OG.
you up with that.
But I got that now, so that's gonna make the book better. Reginald Hudlin gave me the idea. He told me that I was the only one that could write the book. And, I'm working on it now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and trademark the name here in the next couple weeks because I'm gonna turn it up on this book, and that'll be my third, might be my final book. I don't know, but it's a book that definitely I gotta do.
Yeah,
You know, I told Reggie I was gonna do it.
yeah.
Reggie helped me raise the money for my movie. I wanted him to direct it, but he took another great big movie that he said, you know, he got to do. But he also told me that he's going to find me a director, and he's going to be breathing down the guy's back, whoever it is. Because he said my movie is, I forgot the words that he said, but he said it's going to be ginormous. I know my movie's going to probably break all of the box office records. You know, for any movie they ever had, The Terminator, Metrics, I don't care what it is, because I know that people are ready for some real shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially if it's coming from the real, like they don't want that Hollywood shit like we talked about earlier. They want it from the source.
And Reggie said my script is sick. I haven't read the script yet, but he said my script is sick, and they're gonna have to deal with it. You know, all the ones who didn't believe in me. You know, I'll be watching that on Instagram sometime. I flip through Instagram and you know, you see people on there and they be counting that money and walking through them big old houses and say, they didn't believe in me, but I did.
Yeah.
That's Cali. He on that shit. Cali,
Yeah.
God did.
Yeah,
God did.
God believed in me. So,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like that right now. Y'all didn't believe in me, but, you know, I did.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of want to switch gears again, man, because recently, you know, while you were here in the city of Boston, you spoke with the city of Boston's Office of Black Male Advancement. Shout out to my guy Frank Farrow, who's actually heading up that department. And there was also some other people involved, G's to Gents, Gangsters Gone Legit. Shout out to Paris and those guys, the OG. But on the other side of that, right? So we got all this black stuff going on. We brought you to the city. We got the Office of Black Male Advancement. And then you get someone like LeBron James who comes out and says, Boston fans. And he was talking about the Celtics fans. He was saying Boston's fans are some of the most racist. And we've always kind of wore that. Like coming from the city of Boston, and it's crazy because we come from two of the biggest neighborhoods in the city, and so all we know is Black Boston. But I'm just interested to hear your perspective on it, because you've been dealing with pretty much all black people, mostly black people, since you've been here. So what's your perception as someone that's from LA, that's from California, you're all the way across country? What has been the feel around Black Boston?
Well, with me, it's kind of different too. You know, it's like I got a saying that Michael Jordan ain't really black. Because if a cop pulled Michael Jordan over, as soon as he sees Michael Jordan, his whole attitude changes. I'm almost in that same type of category. People treat me different than they treat normal black people. And I understand that.
Break that down. Go into that a little bit deeper for me.
Well, I'm Freeway Rick now. I've been on TV, I've been on Netflix, I've been on every news channel. I'm an author, I got weed brands. So they don't look at me as the way they look at normal brothers in the street, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally understand. Absolutely.
I do, but at the same time, our passing, they ain't letting it go. Them people, they're not letting what happened in our past go ever.
They love my past. The
Okay.
police put me over, they want a picture.
Okay. Okay.
You got any of them books with you? Man, I want to get an autograph. Autograph this napkin.
So it ain't even on no, let me search the car shit. Let me get it.
That's over with.
Love that for you.
You know what I'm saying? They already know I ain't carrying no dough.
I love that for you. I love that for if anybody can get to that level. I love that for you.
So when you ask me that question, it's hard for me to say. I mean, from Boston, I've been in love white, black, Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
It's real diverse.
You know, it don't matter. They just you Rick Ross.
Yeah.
You the OG. You the legend. You the icon.
Yeah.
So I can't speak on that behalf, but I understand that they treat other brothers different than they treat me.
Yeah. It's just we've always, like I said, we've always had to wear that stain of, Boston is a racist city, and people don't realize Boston is a majority city that's made up of people of color. You know what I mean? We're probably one of the more, like, I go to different cities all over the country, and I don't see those diverse communities in other cities. Like, I go to LA all the time, and LA is beautiful, but here in Boston, like, we got the Haitians, we got Trinis, we got Jamaicans, we got Cape Verdeans. You probably never even heard of a Cape Verdean.
No, I haven't.
Can't wait. Look,
they're Africans.
I done some more Cubans.
Yeah.
Since I've been here, Haitians.
Yeah.
Ethiopians.
For sure.
So I just don't know. But I done had white people here. My first time coming here, I stayed in a Airbnb for free. So, it's hard for me to say, and I don't know, what his experience was.
Yeah.
So I it's hard for me to comment on that.
Yeah.
But I know racism definitely still exists
everywhere.
Brothers are not given the same opportunity that other people are given. But I've kind of climbed that pedestal where they don't treat me like they treat normal brothers anymore.
Got it.
I think I'm gonna get there one of these days. I do.
Listen, I'm in.
You on your way now.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, you keep that microphone going.
Nah, for sure.
Keep educating yourself.
Nah, cause they love me already. I went to a predominantly white college, so like being out there, I know they just feel my vibe. They love who I am. I ain't on nothing, but I come from a place that is on something. So they just, it's good feeling for me.
Yeah.
To be able to change environments and see stuff like that. How was it when you came home though? Like, I heard you say a little bit earlier about social media. Like, you don't really mess with it like that?
I do, but not like I should. If I wanted to,
because I feel like it can expand your business.
And I think social media is rigged too.
That too.
Like,
it is.
I got 272,000 followers, but I know my notoriety is bigger than 272,000 followers.
And then you ain't getting 200. You ain't getting 2,000 likes sometimes.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? Yeah.
But I know when I walk through the airport, nobody in the airport take more pictures or get hollered at more than me. Get pushed to the front of the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get all kind of perks that I know most people don't get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when I do the social media thing, I was even thinking about suing them for being biased, because I believe that they're being biased with how they allow you to grow. Because technically, being on social media is almost like a job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because
it is a job.
If your social media grow to a certain level, then that increases your pay scale.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or they'll start paying you in general. You could be a regular. They'll start paying you because you look good.
Exactly. Only you getting the likes and the hits.
Yeah, the likes and the hits, and you're using it every day.
Most companies and nonprofits and all these different organizations are hiring full-time social media managers. So you can make $75,000 a year salary as a social media manager, just in general. You know what I mean? So like most companies are hiring or creating that position and hiring folks for that type of job now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a full-time job for sure.
So I had another question, right? I know this is kind of like, I probably should have asked you earlier, but the name Freeway Ricky Ross, why they start calling you? I mean, maybe you was on the road. I don't know, the freeway.
My mom's house was right next to the freeway.
Okay.
So we played football on the freeway. We played basketball. We roller derby. We rode our bikes. We did everything right there on the side of the freeway.
So you didn't really care about, remember how we talked about rappers having your name and stuff like that? You didn't really care about the freeway name, did you?
I didn't really care about neither one of them using my name. I just felt that there was a way that it should be done.
Yeah.
It ain't
the cold way.
It ain't about somebody using. I mean, it's an honor in a sense for somebody to say the work you did was so great that I'm gonna name myself after you. You know, that's an honor, but it's a way that it's supposed to be done. That's all. And you know, I mean, four guys took my name.
Yeah.
4 rappers in the industry that had some success has used my name, but you know, I'm neither here nor there. I'm
Because mind you, I think you went to jail in 90. What year
89.
You went? 89.
Yep.
We was born in 89.
Yeah, I was born in 89.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when I hear about Freeway Ricky Ross, and I hear Rick Ross, I mean, he's screaming your name, but then I hear you and I see you, I'm like,
well, you
why
know,
is he
in the
so
end, though, he's gonna probably be one of the best marketing tools that I ever had before.
For sure.
You know, with my name, with the money that Universal and Warner Brothers all spent on him, because all that's probably in the end, it's all gonna come back to me
At some point in time, some type of way.
It'll all come back. You know, they say life is like a boomerang. Whatever you throw out, it always comes back to you. So, all that's gonna come back. You know, my movie gonna do over $1 billion.
I believe so. I know so, matter of fact.
It's gonna be the all-time movie to ever hit the big screen.
I need to be at the premiere. How much the tickets go
Everything that I do now, I understand that's even the weed business is to help the movie grow. So the better I do at selling weed, the bigger the movie gonna get. The better my boxers do, the bigger the movie gets.
Yeah.
You know, so all of this stuff that I'm doing now is just a perpetuation of getting the movie to the level that it's gonna be.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for that movie, man, because I feel like it is going to be the real authentic thing. Like I said, I watched the movie 100 Kilos, never really got. I'll be honest, I never fucked with Snowfall just because I knew it was your story and you wasn't really fucking with it.
Yeah, when
like
I heard
that.
you down it, I ain't watching.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not fucking with it. I
won.
just told my shorty. Matter of fact, she was just texting me, and I was just telling her, like, she asked me, like, oh yeah, you watched Snowfall. And I had to give her the whole rundown. Like, hold up, did you not know that they took that story from somebody? You know what I mean? And she had no idea. So I'm really excited for that movie.
But even
to
with
come
that,
out.
when it first came out, I had a chick that came to one of my things and said that she watched it and she knew it was about somebody, and she started doing research, and that led her to me.
What?
She said she had never heard of me before. So, you know, it all helps.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
No matter how my man say, you know, I'm gonna say this, and then, you know, I'm gonna be done with it just about. One of my favorite books, The Richest Man in Babylon, he says that if you throw a lucky man in the Ukrainian Sea, that's water so deep, he's gonna probably swim back up with a pearl in his mouth.
That's heavy. I'm gonna give you a motherfucking round of applause.
Give me one more because we need 2 of those.
Yeah. That was heavy right there. That was heavy right there. That's a game for you.
So when you're functioning on those type of level, you don't even worry about that.
Yeah.
Do what you try to do to me.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna work.
You know what's so crazy? So, like, I know this is kind of off topic again, too, but I see people that take shrooms, right? And I just heard you say when you thinking on that type of frequency and you up on that level, I feel like for you, that type of shit won't even help you or work for you because you already on that level.
I'm already on cloud 9. My boy told me the other day, he's like, somebody asked, what they asked my boy? They say,
already there.
They said, man, you don't remember something happened like 2 days ago. My man said, man, Rick having so much motherfucking fun, he don't remember nothing.
But your mind sharp as shit. You remember stuff from 1984.
Right.
That's because I want to remember it.
Yeah, that's good shit. Yeah, that's that time. Yeah.
If it's something that you know, you said something and it didn't really register.
Then
I'll be like, You talking about some bullshit.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about something that I feel is important, then I remember it. But that bullshit, I'm having too much fun.
Yeah.
Don't come to me talking about gas prices is high. I don't care about gas prices. I just fill my car up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
I always say they're going to get this 40 no matter what.
I don't care what kind of car it is. If I want it, I go get it.
Yeah.
You know, I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's how you become a free motherfucker.
Yeah. Did you know back in the days that you was doing something like in those moments? Did you know you was doing something that was legendary, something that was iconic?
I don't even think what I was doing was special. You know,
You looked at it as an opportunity?
I looked at when I was selling dope. I looked at selling dope like any 12-year-old kid can make $1 million selling dope. It's nothing. All they gotta do is follow some basic principles. Don't steal from yourself. Don't get high. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated.
But I also saw it seemed like in the movie 100 Kilos, it seemed like you wasn't with the violence at all.
Oh no!
But it seemed like it got to a point where you had to start like protecting yourself and start surrounding yourself with people who was like really about that kind of stuff. Could you speak about that? Because it seemed like you avoided the violence for as long as you could.
If you grew up in South Central LA, you run around with $2-3 million in duffel bags. Everybody else over there is making $2. The good jobs in LA at that time was making $300-400 a week. So now you're talking about gangs.
Yeah.
You know,
robbers, stick up kids,
jealous. You know, dudes who knew me when I was broke, can't believe that I should have this good fortune, and they felt that they could take it. So when you're dealing with that, then you have to start protecting yourself, and that's why we started carrying guns and so forth.
Yeah.
But we was always able to stay almost invisible where they couldn't see us. You know, I like to be invisible.
Yeah.
You know, I like to walk places and nobody recognize me, nobody sees me.
Yeah.
So because LA got so crazy, because LA kind of got crazy in the 90s.
Yeah, I was in prison then.
That's what I'm saying. Do you feel as though like being in prison kind of saved you from a lot of that bullshit that was out there?
No. What happened is they took all of the leaders off the street.
Sure.
So when they didn't have no more leaders, then the youngsters just started doing whatever, you know. And idiots started being the leaders. Okay. No, but I would have made it in the 90s.
90s.
Yeah. What do you think about LA now? Because
I probably would have been the king of hip hop.
Oh yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean that kind of money wasn't nobody bring. Death Row wasn't even bringing in that kind of money in the 90s.
No.
Yeah.
Sure not.
But yeah, and I've been tinkering with the music business. That's another story.
Yeah.
But you know, we finna hit the music right now. We finna hit the music hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But let me ask you this: when you look at LA, because we've actually talked about LA on a few of our past shows, just about the drugs, the robberies. You know, Mass Ave here in Boston is starting to look like downtown Los Angeles, Skid Row, out there.
With all the homeless people?
With all the homeless people and all the drug addiction and substance abuse and all of that. But when you look at LA now and just where the crime is now, you know, what's some of the things that you think, or what's some of the things that you might even be doing to try to help that?
Because it's so crazy. I remember
he said that, right? I was just with my guy, one of my guys, Coach Ward, and he works in the mayor's office. He used to sell dope with us. Now he's working in the mayor's office, getting $100,000 and some a year. What he does is whenever somebody gets killed, he goes to the scene and they analyze it and they find out which gang did the killing, who was the gang got killed, and try to make the peace. Well, me and him was riding together about 2 weeks ago when we were working on this documentary, and he was asking me about it, and I was like, I don't see all that violence. You know, I don't see any. Even though I stay in South Central, I stay right in the middle of a gang infested neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the house I could buy. I didn't want to rent when I come home. You know, I wanted to buy me a house because I didn't want to be paying nobody's house note. You know, I wanted to pay my own house note. So I bought an apartment building because I could afford it, but it's in the hood, and I just haven't been seeing the gang activity, and I believe that's because when you kind of like take yourself out of that element, you know, there's a saying, I see no evil, hear no evil, and don't want to be around no evil, and you just go through life without recognizing those issues.
Yeah. I can relate to that, man, because like I said, me and Tyson, we come from the biggest hoods. He come from Mission Hill Projects. I come from Columbia Point Projects, two of the biggest neighborhoods, but we've always been two individuals that go wherever we want. We carry ourselves a certain way. Even when we see the dudes from the neighborhoods we got beef with, there's a mutual respect there, you know what I mean, just because of how we carry ourselves. So even though we're right in the middle of it, we're kind of removed from it in a certain extent, just by how we carry ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't even got to say nothing.
I don't have no beef.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't got no beef. Yeah. I don't got beef with nobody.
Nobody, yep.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I can definitely relate to that for sure. Yeah. What do you think about being that you're, you know, in the entertainment business and all that? What do you think about courts using lyrics against artists nowadays?
I'm surprised they hadn't been doing it. If you read law, case law and stuff like that, you'd be like, why haven't they been locking these guys up? Because literally what they could do, literally, in the federal court, they could take you to court, put you on trial, put your tape in, and ask the jury, do they believe what you said on that tape is true? And if the jury say, yeah, they believe it, they can put your ass in jail.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's all they need.
Yeah.
They don't need nobody to be dead. They don't need the body. They don't need the gun. They don't need the gunshots.
They just need you saying it with your voice.
You said it with your own voice. This is him. This is him on the tape saying that he shot this guy. He sold this many kilos of cocaine.
So you think that's no different than a phone call and you telling your man on the phone on the other line and them hearing it on the radio?
What's the difference?
People like to fabricate stuff. Like, there ain't people that ain't tough in the NBA, but they act tough.
Yeah, but the guy who talking to his homeboy, he was just bullshitting his homeboy.
Maybe not. You're right.
It's up to the jury to decide which
that.
one is bullshitting and which one is telling the truth. So what I'm saying, I done saw guys get convicted like that.
Okay.
And not even saying on the phone that they sold dope. They talking about, hey man, them carburetors,
You know what's so crazy?
the motorcycles, you understand what I'm saying? Them chickens. Oh no, decipher what chicken mean. Oh, chicken mean this. Motorcycle carburetors, that mean. So you know, I'm just saying.
So I don't really got a question, right? But this is like my last thing I really want to say is, so like just sitting right here next to you and talking to you, like our vibration, how we vibing right now, like I could see myself in the 80s being in your shoes, right? And not thinking nothing of nothing. Like I'm just making a fine dollar today.
Exactly.
I'm making some money for my family to take care of the people that I love the most. The white people are doing it too. They're just doing it on a different scale in a different way. And I don't know. I just relate to you in that stance, and I don't know. It's
A
just
lot
how
of
I
people
look at
can
it.
relate.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But-
Even though I don't sell no drugs, I ain't got nothing to sell to nobody drug wise.
They're not gonna admit it.
Yeah, I don't got nothing to sell to nobody drug wise, but I know for a fact that I just feel like you was just living a regular life because that's how the natural regular guy in the neighborhood was living. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They just probably wasn't making it on your level, but they was
Absolutely.
making it on a certain level. You
They
know
just
what I mean?
punish you harder because you did what the American dream say you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Get as big as you can.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so yo, man, if there's anything you want to promote or anything you want to tell people, man, about some of the latest ventures or projects that you got coming up, man, go Go ahead and tell the folks.
In your social medias,
Y'all
too.
check me out on Instagram, Freeway Ricky. Right now, I'm at 272,000 followers. I'm trying to get to 300,000. If y'all can help me, go on there, follow me. Freeway Ricky on Instagram, Freeway Rick on Facebook, Freeway Rick on Twitter, and Freeway Rick on TikTok. And if you want to buy my book, please don't go to Amazon. Go to my website, freewayrickyross.com. You can also get the T-shirts. And I'm getting ready to reprint The Real Rick Ross Is Not a Rapper because the demand has been crazy.
Yes.
So y'all got that coming soon. I don't know how many I'm going to print, though.
I need one.
Send them over. Send us one
I
when you
need
get them,
one.
man. I'll pay for it,
Yeah,
man. We'll
man.
pay for them. We'll pay for them and all of that.
Oh, yeah, and don't forget Kid Austin this Saturday on The Zone, live. First time somebody I work with in boxing is going to be on TV.
That's the
Check
ESPN
him
zone?
out. Huh?
ESPN zone?
No, The Zone.
The zone.
Okay.
The Zone.
Okay.
The zone. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
That's
I got
an
you.
app.
DAZN.
Yeah, that's it.
Yup.
Okay.
DAZN.
Also, y'all be on the lookout for my man Anthony Peterson. Look like him and Ryan Garcia gonna get it on. Ryan gonna get his first loss. Messing with the old
you
man.
over there with them? Okay, I need to be there.
Yeah,
I need to,
yeah.
We
Yeah,
need
we
that
putting that
win. We need to
together.
knock Ryan the fuck out.
We
Yeah.
putting that on right now. We working on that. So Anthony Peterson out of DC, 39-1-1. Look out.
Yeah, word, man. You heard it right there, man. From the legend, the icon, the myth, Freeway Ricky Ross, man. We want to thank you for coming through and chopping it up with us, man. This is a special treat, not only for the Goldmembers podcast, man, but for the city of Boston and our entire following, all of our supporters. They're really going to appreciate this show. But, yo, make sure y'all check us out. Every single Thursday, we dropping new episodes on all the top digital streaming platforms.
And definitely make sure y'all check us out on Instagram at Goldmembers Podcast on Instagram. And make sure you tap into that Facebook group because we bubbling on there. They love us on Facebook.
You already know I'm one half of the Goldmembers podcast, Herb Reed, Boston self-proclaimed mayor.
And it's your boy Tyson, man. Jody, if you know me, man, you already know what it is. Follow me on Instagram at Goldmembers only on Instagram, and at Goldmembers on Twitter.
You already know, man. Goldmembers podcast. We out.
Peace.
Goldmembers Podcast.